All right, welcome to the New Jersey Open. We are in Cream Ridge, New Jersey. I am Matty Marshall here with Steve Rabikoff at the PSP, and you're about to watch Damage take on Aftershock. We're in day 2 of our competition. Lots of great paintball action coming at you so far in day 1. Now, Damage, they're 2-2, and Aftershock is 1-1. Story of yesterday, though, Aftershock was, they're 2-0, and Aftershock 1-1. Aftershock winning their first match of the year and playing very well, losing a very, very close game to Edmonton Impact 5-4. Going to be a great and great matchup between two solid teams, both looking strong here at this event. We have a very interesting field layout, a snake on both sides of the field, which we haven't seen in a long time. Typically, you have a set of bunkers that we call the Doritos on one side, on the pit side where the players stage, and then on the spectator side of the field, you normally have the snake structure. The PSP has changed it up for this event. They threw a snake on the pit side. It's made for some very interesting games. And as we typically see in these events, as these teams slowly start to pick up their momentum, they learn this field and the games start to get faster. We saw some slower paced games yesterday. However, only one game going into overtime with the Edmonton Impact taking on Russia Boston Red Legion and winning that game 6-5. We'd like to take a few moments here to thank our sponsors of the PSP: Die, Proto, Empire, Draxus Paintball, Eclipse, Top Gun, GI Sports, RPS, Virtue, PB Nation, GI Milsim, and Super Airball. Without them, this would not be possible. We are about a few minutes away from the start of this match.
3 minutes. 3 minutes.
Yeah, 3 minutes and 15 seconds to go for the start of this first match. Steve, you watched all day's competition. How do you feel about these two teams?
I would say right now, Damage and Dynasty were probably the upper tier teams yesterday. They had this field dialed in really well, playing it smart. Shock played it well as well yesterday. They got their first win against Infamous. Came out pretty strong. I think it caught Infamous off guard. They probably weren't ready for that.
Yeah, and it's interesting with Infamous. Infamous spent the entire week out here in New Jersey in the heat and also in the rain practicing.
Shouldn't have said that. That'll probably upset LB knowing that.
Yeah, yeah. The story of Infamous is amazingly, arguably the most talented team on the circuit. And they have spent a lot of time recently trying to revamp their squad mentally. Really not physically. They haven't really changed bodies out or anything, but they've really spent time trying to figure out exactly what it is. We're going to watch Infamous take on Impact in the second game of the day after this Damage Aftershock game. Now, Infamous, though, they're 0-2. They did not play well yesterday. They were really disappointed. And after really focusing 110% on just paintball, they didn't go out. They didn't do anything. All they did was eat, sleep, breathe paintball for an entire week. But it didn't work.
They showed up to play. They just didn't play.
Yeah, and I was talking to I was talking to John Richardson yesterday, and we were talking about how practice is not performance, and you really have to come. So I don't know. I'm really interested to see. They're not out of it yet. If they win out today, they definitely still have a chance. But we'll get to that after this match. Now, Damage and Aftershock. Damage and Aftershock have played 9 matches over the past 4 seasons, and Damage has beaten Aftershock 8 of those 9 matches by an average of about 4 points. Now, Aftershock has beaten Damage 1 of those 9 matches by 1 point. So now on paper, you got to give this game to Damage. However, Shock's playing hot right now. They lost, like I said before, they lost a very close game to Edmonton Impact, who is 2-0. Edmonton Impact's playing very, very well. Aftershock's really hungry. They brought Mikey Bruno back from the depths.
Old school.
Mikey Bruno is back to coach them, and they need some sort of spark. They need some sort of motivational, something heart-wise.
Yeah, they played well yesterday, and they had that game against Impact. They had their chances. They were leading. They just couldn't close the deal, but they're definitely not a pushover right now. Like you said, on paper, 8-9, you'd say Damage is going to just roll these guys off the field here, but they got to play this game here, so we're going to find out here in a second.
Yeah, they already played a match this year so far, and it was at our last event in Chicago, and Damage took that game 5-3. So let's see what Aftershock team shows up.
Actually, you know what?
In the high huddle right now.
This whole year, both teams, they play one day. They're hot, and the next day, who is that team? So let's see which teams show up today.
It's been a crazy season.
And this field is crazy.
Yeah, there's a lot. That's why I'm really excited about today and tomorrow's play. because we watched that in the last event, is as these guys really start to progress through the event and start to learn the angles, and I mean, they practiced a lot before, but until you get out there and you're playing these teams with refs and all the accoutrements of the tournament. All right, here we go. 5 seconds to go before the start of the first match. On your screen, Tampa Bay Damage in the blue and gray. Let's see their breakout. Nice. Guns up, 5 guns up, even they're moving up that center. So, it looks like immediately taken out.
G1 for Aftershock.
Yeah,
two Damage are leading the field.
2 players are coming up, and it's Chad Boussier and Timmy Probst coming off for Damage, and then also looks like Dave Baines getting shot out of that back center, so just 2 Tampa Bay Damage players left alive. You're looking at them on your screen right now, and then on the flip side, there's Aftershock in the green and black.
Running down the snake side.
Yeah, they're making, nice
Game
moves.
over.
They're not looking at a lot of guns right now. They need to press that advantage and make a statement early. When you're playing a team, look at this. And a major penalty, it looks like on Aftershock. Nick Sloviak was pushing aggressively down the pit side of the field, down the player's side, and I don't know if he drew the penalty. I couldn't tell from here. Steve, could you see what that was on?
I don't know if it was the guy running down the snake that took an extra hit or overshooting. I don't know. We're going to find out here in a second, because I know that Jason Edwards took a couple to the head there when he already had his hand up and walking off the field. So they threw a couple of those last tournament overshooting, and it happened on the Russians in the final against Dynasty.
Yeah, and the Russians had problems with penalties yesterday.
Yeah,
and that's what's your biggest pet peeve, Steve?
Penalties, man. Stay out of the penalty box, you win. And yesterday they decided to get penalties, and it's crazy because usually they're the least penalized team over the years, and in the last 2 tournaments they've got penalties, and that will send you to the loss column. And they have 2 losses, so.
Yeah, so nice point by Aftershock as they go up on the board. The score is now 1-0. 1 minute and 15 seconds left to play as we look at our eye in the sky. All right, you're looking here at the breakout of that last point. It's Aftershock, top left-hand corner of your screen there. Heavy guns up. They got 5, taking 2 out on that player side of the field, doubling up that stand-up tempo. Just 1 over here, but it really was the strength of those guns in the center, I think. They were able to get those 2 kills out of the center spot. And now on the flip side, you're looking at Damage, and there they break out. Similar breakout, but really heavy in that center. And they immediately lose Timmy Probst and Chad Boussier there. And, it's interesting they're sending Chad up to that center, Steve. Chad is, again, if you haven't heard that name before, remember it, because he is one of the most underrated players out there. And anyone that plays the game at this level knows that kid is amazing. He's very aggressive.
Consistent.
So very consistent. He's quiet, doesn't talk about himself a lot. Great guy. And he's one of those guys that if he wants to play this game at this level, he's going to be able to do it for a long time and be one of the stars. But I'll tell you what, they need to figure something out. I don't know if it was that game plan, maybe just a little unlucky break. Well, they haven't had a lot of paint issues at this event. The paint's been shooting pretty good.
The weather's
for everybody.
perfect. It's nice to the paintball manufacturers. We all appreciate that, the weather, because Chicago was interesting.
GI Milsim,
GI Sports.
All right, so here on the breakout, you're looking at Damage. Much different breakout this time as they break out wide, sending players, but still to no avail. Not able to get anybody alive over out on, with any at least far at all, on the player side of the field.
And they lose 1, so now it's 4-4, and Shock's in a penalty. So Shock right now, they want to kill that penalty right now with 1:40 on the clock. So 4-4, they need to get going here to try to get this quick point here. Oh, and they take one of the Damage guys moving to the snake side.
Wow, and it's Chad Boussier again, so he's just having a horrible day so far. This time dying out of his bunker. He lived early, was able to make it to his spot, but just not able to make that bump across to try to get into the spectator side snake. And now
Shock is eating up this clock here. That's the way to do it.
Yeah, they're smart. They got to kill. So all you really need to do at that point is just chill out, shoot your lanes, take what they give you. Still work your game plan, exactly. Here you go. Now you're looking at Shock, making that move. It's Drew Templeton. Drew Templeton's been around the block a little bit. Really nice guy, man, from the Midwest. Oh, and look at this. Brown, number 9, having a hard time staying alive out here in that back corner, and that's, you really can't die out of that back spot. You're the only guy on this side. There's no offense going for your team. You got the other teams up a point and trying to eat a penalty down. You got to stay alive in that point. There, Mike Carthy just narrowly avoid jumping back. See, that was Mike Carthy on your screen right there, and he just narrowly avoided as Damage streaking out to the back corner, and now here comes Carthy. He makes a move out to the back corner bunker, snake side, spectator snake side, and he makes it in clean.
Like with 25 seconds or with like 49 seconds, you're down. You have 2 players on there. Shock is just going to eat the clock up. Damage probably should have conceded this point to put them in the next point with on the break.
Yeah, that's a good point. There's only 15 seconds left to go on that clock, and Drew Templeton's in the snake, and look at that.
And now they do it when they could have done it at 49 seconds. So at that point they had 2 guys left. they should have hit it at 49 seconds to at least start the next game with Shock still in the box.
I agree. I agree. Now, the Shock's still going to be in the box for 13 seconds, but I agree. Once if you have a situation like that and it's pretty much lost.
And it was 18:21 on the clock. This isn't like 3 minutes, 4 minutes left now. You got plenty of time. Hit it.
Tons of time left.
Hit it. Put him in the gate right away with a guy in the box still.
And wash it away. Wash that out mentally. A lot of times you have situations where really paintball is, people ask me all the time, oh, what do I need to do to be a great player? Well, obviously you have to be able to, we'll get to that in a second, but first let's check the breakout from there. You're looking at his damage, and again, struggling, completely changing it up again, and they were able to make it out, but one of them is going to get taken out. Though I like the change of game plan, showing a different face, flipping up the script, and here Aftershock, heavy guns again. Now, Aftershock must have been doing their homework on damage. They probably watched the first 2 games for sure.
Absolutely.
Looked exactly where everyone was going and the different lines they had, and made the necessary adjustments in their own game. Again, Shock played great yesterday. They were 1-1.
And Damage played yesterday. What they did is they set the center of the field, and then they would wing out. And obviously it worked for them. They caught Russian off guard completely doing that, and they won their second game. And obviously Shock watched, and they're catching them now because they're not getting out.
Yeah. All right, so just about 18 seconds to go before the start of this. So like I was saying, a lot of guys are always asking, hey, what do I need to do to be a great player? But a lot of it really is how tough are you mentally? I mean, you can pretty much anyone that has halfway decent athletic skills can eventually, over the years, train your body to do the mechanisms it needs to do to play at this level of paintball. But it's that mental toughness that's so hard. And right now, Damage, having lost 2 points in a row, they need to just shut that off. Forget about it. It's all right. It's like getting shot when you run out to your bunker. Just put that out of your mind. Stop thinking about it. Now they're keeping 5 alive. They got Big Dave Baines in the back center.
And Shock comes out of the box, and let's see if he makes the corner here. If he makes the corner, oh, nope, he's out. I think he should stay in the back center just a little bit longer.
Yeah, I agree. He should have doubled up that back center.
Came out.
Well, the problem is you're running into 5 guns.
Yeah.
It's okay to run out to a back corner if there's only 3 bodies. You're only looking at 3 bodies shooting at you, but you're looking at 5 guns shooting back at you, and Damage still doubling up. Right now we're looking at Aftershock's line, but Damage doubling up that back center. Still, they're going to want to eventually get a guy out of there. And what Brown needs to, you look at it, they're finally making a move.
Here comes Damage, and there's a red flag.
Oh, now a penalty. It looks like Brian Smith drawing a major penalty, and Dave Baines is going to come off for that. And that is, if I'm Joey, the coach for Damage right now, I'm just shaking my head. I'm like, wow.
He is actually shaking his head. He's shaking his head. He was. You said it, he was doing it.
Yeah, that's what exactly. I mean, if you're Joe, you're on the sidelines, you're watching your team, you're thinking, wow, okay, we just lost 2 points. Now one of our best players is going to get a major penalty, and we lose our big gun out the back, Dave Baines, because of that. So it's really going to be up to Timmy Probst. There we go. Looks like Yost getting taken out for Aftershock. So Yost walking off that center. Still looks like only 3 bodies
Damage
left
tries
alive.
to move the snake side and takes one of the head. So now it's 2 Damage against what we got here. 3 Shock, 3 on 2.
Yeah, 3 on 2 right now.
Shock needs to widen the field out, which is
really, yeah, they need to widen the field. That's just a real good point, Steve. And you see they're not doing that. They're just jamming up that center. They really can't widen the field yet, though, as Timmy Probst and Brown have their guns up very effectively. Now they're trying to widen the field. There you go. Moves made by both teams. Chess match back and forth, and mirrored bunkers here on the snake side, both in that insert Dorito.
I like that move Brown just did for Damage. They're down a player, but he's still moving up the snake side here and slowing Shock from moving down the field a little bit. So that was a good move.
Yeah, it was definitely.
Both Shock and Damage are in the same bunkers mirrored up.
Now, I'm thinking who has the cage. So right now it's 3 on 2. 3 for Aftershock, 2 for Damage. So that means that somebody in Aftershock has the ball. When we say that, that means, okay, who's going to be making the next move? It's either Damian Ryan. Now, you're looking at the splits or the wide angle view here. There it is. I'm going to say Damian Ryan at the top part of your screen. He's pretty open. No one's shooting at him right now. Now Brown has picked him up. So now it looks like that's Sosine behind him. He's going to have to do something here because no one is shooting at Sosine right now. All he's doing is tippy-tapping Brown's bunker and trying to get shots on him. You're looking at Brown. That's Damage. Number 9. Looking at the score 2-0. Still tons of time left on this clock, and that major is about to expire. So nice job.
Oh, he got caught up on the net.
Yeah, he got caught up on the net. Poor Smith tried to get out, wasn't able to do it. So if you're Steve, Steve, if you're Aftershock right now and you have this numerical advantage, do you like what they're doing right now? Because if I'm Sosi, I'm going to be thinking I want to move to that.
I'd move to that, get to the Dorito and start moving that snake side there. Widen the field out, make those guys turn those guns, and this guy, shock player, can move down the snake.
Yeah,
they need to widen the field out.
They absolutely need to widen the field. I would either get out to that Dorito, which is definitely a safer move, or I'd go to that can. I think the can is absolutely, he can make the can without even shooting. He could moonwalk into the can. There he goes. Because no one is shooting at. Brown is gunned up, zoned up on Damian Ryan, which is, by the way, a great pickup by Aftershock. Damian Ryan, one of the best players out of the Midwest. Very aggressive player, very technically strong. And he is the
there we go to the snake.
There you go. So yeah, that's what we're talking about. So nice job. I think that is so seen over there.
Oh, and they shoot him.
He gets clipped by Brown. Terrible loss for Aftershock, but absolutely awesome job by Brown over here. Oh, Brown just head checking away from Damian Ryan's paint. So now it's going to be up to, looks like, yeah, Damian Ryan over there.
And I can't tell the shock player who the shock player
is. There's Damian Ryan. You see at the top right-hand part of the screen. Now he's making his moves out in the open. Ooh, dives back in.
And he gets hit. Gets eliminated.
It's right in that aggressive angle. So look at this damage, man, coming back.
And they shoot the last shock player. Look at that. Get too sloppy there, man. That's not, I know what he's trying to do, trying to pop out and get a shot there, but you can't make that move when there's two guys posted up on you.
No.
So I'll give him that. That's a, what did he just do?
Yeah, it was definitely some bad paintball on Aftershock's part. They mismanaged. Well, I wouldn't say they mismanaged the penalty clock, because they definitely got in a position to take out Smith, so that was a good job, but they still had the numerical advantage. I love the aggression of Damian Ryan. That's one of the reasons he's a great player. However, when you have that, what happens is sometimes those guys die trying to do a little bit too much, which is what happened over there. Hey, he's trying to make something happen. That's okay. It's still early on in the game. You got a 2-point lead, now a 1-point lead. But really, hats off to Timmy Probst and Brown for damage. They were the ones that made that happen. Keith Brown, really, I would give Keith Brown the star, the gold star, for that last point.
Oh, he's wearing number 9, so that's a good number.
Is that your number?
That's my number. So I'll let him keep it.
That was my number too. Back when my first gun I ever got on a paintball team was from Team Navarone, and it was a beautiful autococker, and it was 09.
Was that when you start? That was right before you started working at Dye.
That was a couple years before I started working at Dye. All right, looks like we got a highlight from that last point. So you're looking at there, Damian Ryan, top part of your screen, ends up getting taken out, trying to do too much, and that was the end of that point. So, again, it's we're going to see a lot of that, man. I'm okay with that move by Ryan. I wouldn't really necessarily say, he got shot, so yeah, it is.
I know what he's trying to do. He's trying to pop out. And I've seen players do it. And sometimes you have to do that, but it's kind of can't do that when Brown's posted up on you. That's kind of hard to do that.
Yes, yeah. You can't jump out in the open, and he should know that, because you have to. It's all variables. You're putting these. It's like, okay, insert Dorito by the snake. He's posted on me. I can't just bounce out into the open on the left-hand side. All right, so on the breakout here, you're looking at Shock on your screen, and Shock doubling up that back center. They lose Nick Sloviak. They lose Nick Sloviak over there on the player side of the field.
And I like the aggression that Damage pulled out here on the snake corner. They made the snake corner. So that's the first time they've done that so far this game. So
yeah, that is good. They're changing up a lot. And Damian Ryan getting out to the back corner on the snake side of the field. He's talking to the referee. No, he's talking to his coach. And now a move being made by Aftershock here. There's Drew Templeton getting into the insert bunker over here on the snake side of the field, spectator snake.
This snake side on this field, on the spectator side, is not easy to get to. That's why you see a lot of teams moving to the other side.
A lot of teams, it's interesting, talking to a lot of teams coming in this event, there was a lot of squad changes as we're looking at destruction for damage on the pit snake side, the player side of the field, and they lose Timmy Probst, they lose Brian Smith, and Damage is not really playing that strong right now. This is not the Damage that we watched play yesterday. I don't know what's going on over there. They're losing bodies off the break. They're losing bodies out of their bunkers. They're getting beat at gunfights. They did have, it was really Brown and Probst stepping it up that last game. to win it for them. But we need to see a little bit more out of their squad, I think, for them to succeed here at this event. We need to see the team that was playing yesterday. Again, a lot of game, though. It's really too early to tell. We only have a 1-point match with 11 minutes and 8 seconds left to play.
Which should be 3-0.
It should be 3-0.
But
this game should be 3-0.
So Damage definitely needs to pick it up because the way they're playing right now isn't the way they were playing yesterday. Yesterday they were just working people, shooting on the break, 1 or 2.
Well, this field is definitely conducive to the way they play. It's, this field is a technical field. You have to make smart moves. Once you get to your bunkers, you got a gunfight out of them, though. This isn't a put a guy in and go field. And because of that, a team that has the experience and the game knowledge that Damage has, guys on that team are very smart paintball players. Mike Carthy, Jason Edwards, Timmy, even Brown. I'm impressed by Brown. Brown's one of the younger pickups from them. He's played a very smart paintball so far this game, and if he can keep that up, he's going to be a real asset to that squad.
Yeah, they've been bringing him slowly along, and he's getting better and getting more game time. So I didn't see him in Chicago playing, but he's here, and that's good for him. I'm glad he's here.
Yeah.
This field layout is definitely a lot slower than previous layouts that we've had this year because the double snake has got teams confused because most teams only have 1 or 2 snake guys. Now they got to have 4 snake guys.
Yeah, and we saw a lot of roster changes. Not roster changes as in like different guys coming on different teams, which happens a lot, but it was more of squads being changed up. It's like, wow, what are we going to do with the traditional, okay, hey, you play the Dorito side. Like, what if you're Dalton Vanderbilt for Dynasty? There's not a Dorito side.
No.
It's like, okay, God, I've been destroying people on the Dorito side all year, and now they just completely took away my playground. Really slow point right here is these teams evenly matched.
Damage will play this. They like playing this.
This is their bread and butter right here, man.
They have no problem doing this.
Right now,
Aftershock moving to the snake.
Yeah.
Dorito side snake.
Templeton making his move, and here's a big move by Chad Boucher all the way, and he makes it in clean. Nice job. No penalty. Looks like Templeton spun, so that's going to remove Damian Ryan from play, and you can tell Damian. Oh, no, I'm sorry, no, that's Sosine. Sosine in the back. No, that is Damian Ryan. Damian Ryan is wearing Sosine's jersey because Damian Ryan just got picked up, doesn't have one of his own yet. But
they eliminate all the damage players Aftershock and still get through this point here.
Yeah.
So
and that is the there's
and
the
there
original
Joey
Sosine.
losing his mind over here, the coach of the
I'd
damage.
be losing my mind too, man. You got a close point like that, and coming off a really strong day yesterday, and playing the paintball they played yesterday. Tampa Bay Damage beat the Russians 5-2 yesterday, and then they went on to destroy Infamous 5-1. That's a beatdown of a day, man. To take Russians and Infamous down, that's a bloodbath of a division.
This division is the Sunday division. I'm not no disrespect to the other division and the teams, but come on.
Oh man, if I saw that, it's brutal. All right, so looking at the highlight right there, here's the move coming down. Nice job by Chad Boucher. You were listening to me talk about him before. Beautiful move, and even gets Drew Templeton to draw that penalty. However, it was not enough, and it's so sad. That's why Joey, the coach for Damage, was just losing his mind over here on the sideline, screaming at his team. He had a great move like that to blow the game open, takes 2 players off, but Damage just get shot out of their bunkers. And Sosine for Aftershock, able to do a great job over there on the player side snake, and to take that point home. The score is now 3-1. We got about 51 seconds left to go, and Shock is looking pretty good.
Shock's looking good, and Damage is 2-0. They get one more game, they're 3-0, and they're in the driver's seat for tomorrow. So this game is this sends them to Sunday.
Yeah.
Shock 1-1. They win this game. They're 2-1. They put Damage to 2-1, and Damage and Impact still have to play. And Infamous is getting ready to play Impact, and Infamous is going to be quite angry after what happened yesterday. We'll see what team shows up today. I'm sure we're all curious, as LB is too, at home watching, I'm sure.
Yeah, I'm very curious
and
to
Kevin.
see. We have a lot of friends on that team, a lot of guys that, especially you and me, we've played with and against those guys for way too long. And it's just one of those things to watch a team like Infamous try as hard as they did this week and train and have a really weak day yesterday. So I'm expecting them to come out real strong. So yeah, but speaking of weak, Damage is not looking good right now.
And Brown gets eliminated. Shot off the break.
Yeah, so Brown getting shot off the break. He's just going to have to, hey, it happens. And Damian Ryan gets shot off the break for Shock. Oh, but they also lose another. Shock loses another player on the player side of the field. So it looks like it's 3-on-3 right now.
3-on-2.
What a bloodbath
Yeah,
point.
the bodies, they're coming off so fast, I don't know where to start.
Sosin making moves on that
It's
the
2-on-2
player side
now.
of the field. It looks like Chad might have got a shot on him. No, Chad misses his shot. Chad Boussier misses his shot on Sosin. So Sosin now knows where Chad is. Chad's in a really good position over here. There's no one else but Chad over here on the spectator side of the field. And now Shock gets the player out of the dead box.
Oh, and he eliminates. Is that? They
think
shoot
it's
him?
Nick.
Yep, he shot back center out. So it's 2-on-1 now. Chad shoots him out. Cyclops. Now it's 2-on-2.
Yeah, so it
here
looks
comes
like-
the Shock player. Hasn't shot the whole game. Now he comes out of this bunker here. We didn't even see him.
Yeah, well, it's Drew Templeton who came out of the box. Drew Templeton came out of the box, and we got ourselves, it looks like a 2-on-2 right now. With Shock a player, Shock, oh, and Chad Boussier getting shot uncharacteristically out of his bunker. Gets owned by Drew Templeton. Nice job by Templeton coming out of the box, stepping it up, taking out one of the best players, I think, in the league. Shooting him out of the insert Dorito over here on the spectator side of the field. Hell of a job by Drew Templeton. Now, they got a 3-point lead right now. There's no penalties. All the penalties have cleared off. 7:06 left on the clock. That's still a lot of time. Now, however, the 3-point spread comes in. We talk a lot about that. If you watch some of these events before, the 3-point spread happens when, Damage has 1, Shock has 4. It's a 3-point differential. That 3-point spread is really hard to come back from, and it's kind of a mental thing. You look up at the board, you're like, God, we've only scored 1 point, and we have to score 3 more points in the next 6 minutes.
And here comes Dave moving up. Dave Baines moving up the field, so he knows he has to get this point.
Yeah, so it looks like Shock lost that player in the snake, and it appears to be, it might be a
It is
one-on-one right now.
one-on-one.
We got ourselves a one-on-one situation.
And Shock needs to, like you said, Dave's over here trying to win this game.
Oh, and he does
And he does eliminate. Nice.
Wow, so that is why you pay Dave Baines.
That's why you pay the big bucks to the back player that can win the games.
Yeah.
I'll give him that. He moved, and Shock did not play that well. After he just eliminated quite a few players over here.
It's been some seesaw points back and forth. But that is why people, you got some free agents out there in the game. Dave Baines is one of the best in the business, and that is why you pay Dave Baines to win points like that. Because again, if Dave Baines loses that one-on-one, this game goes to 4-1. You got that 3-point spread like we were just talking about, and it's going to be really hard for Damage to get back in it. Now we got ourselves a 1-point match. It's 3-2, 6 minutes and 13 seconds
Plenty
left.
of time.
No penalties on the board. It's anyone's game at this point.
Absolutely. To change subjects real quick, did you hear Kevin Rudolph had a baby, had the baby boy?
I heard it. I didn't know he had it. I heard it was coming. I'm surprised I didn't
Kevin
see it
and
on
Kylie
Facebook.
had their baby, so I want to congratulate them. And did you hear what they named them, their middle name?
Wait, hold on a second. We got a breakout right there. And this is Aftershock you're looking at on your screen. It's Damian Ryan just struggling, trying to get out. Looks like he took a shot right there. And the referee from the center. And here we go, the breakout for Damage as they lose player off the break. Tripling up that back center, heavy guns. And then this is the end, that one-on-one victory by Dave Baines to take out Drew Templeton. So nice job by Dave Baines.
That was big.
That was huge, definitely. So 3-2. All right, so what's the middle name? Steven?
Caden Rab.
No way.
He won't admit it, but it's Caden Rab.
Oh, wow. Are you serious, or is that just your nickname for the kid?
That's my nickname. He's all over Facebook with a tiger suit.
Love that.
But back to paintball.
Yeah. Well, hey, congratulations to Callie. Love that guy.
Yep.
Grown up a lot. Got themselves a family now.
Yep.
Proud of that kid. All right, so 10 seconds to go. So who do you like in this match? You still liking Shock here? Do you think Damage is going to come back?
Ooh, yeah. This game's far from over. I'm going with a 1-point win here.
And I think what we're seeing is a lot of this is coming down to the break, and I think these guys are really starting to find their groove, shooting these lanes off the break as Damage struggles over on the player side of the field, losing a body trying to get out to that back corner. And they still have 4 bodies alive. It's 5-on-4 right now in favor of Aftershock as Damian Ryan is now in the snake on the player side. He's got a player behind him, makes moves to the 50-yard line. Great job over there. And he is just going to, and at this point, honestly, he needs to just chill in there, wait for a second. Oh, look at this. Damage loses Brown on the spectator side of the field, back corner. And Timmy Probst's able to get out there and do some damage control. So nice backfield spread here by Tampa Bay Damage. three players. They got back center, back stand-up Temple, and the back corner over here on the spectator side of the field. And great field position by Aftershock right now.
Yeah, you can't pick a better spot to be in right now. Is that Damian Ryan over on that side?
Yeah, it looks like Damian Ryan and the Snake on the player side of the field for Aftershock, and got ourselves about 5 minutes to go here in this match. In case you're just tuning in, I'm Matty Marshall. I'm up here with Steve Rabakoff. We are at the new PSP New Jersey Open in Cream Ridge, New Jersey. Beautiful weather right now. Couldn't really ask for more in the dead of August on the East Coast.
Yeah, this is good.
So yeah, nice. You're looking
Damage is just gonna, like they've been doing the whole game, they're gonna take their time. They're not gonna force it, and it's been working.
Yeah, it's been working to keep them in it. I mean, they only got 2 points on the board, but the thing is that Aftershock is playing an aggressive game right now. They're making moves. They're really trying to make things happen. And Damage has chopped them up a little bit. Now, that being said, obviously Shock with the 1 point advantage is doing a little bit better of a job than Damage at their game plan with the aggression that they're bringing. But Damage is one of those teams that, God, they're such a hard team to break that cross, man. I mean, there's a lot of those guys are from old school Strange, and Strange is just one of those teams that just such good gunfighters, such good
Crossed
shots.
it up.
Like Mike Carthy in the back center is one of the best shots in the game, and it looks like they're gonna blow the horn. So interesting call here. It looks like Damage blows the horn with 3 bodies left alive to preserve the time.
Well, think about it. Shock had both 50 snakes, 2 in the middle there. They could just play this out all the way through.
Yeah, I know. I don't like that though. The thing about that,
we don't like it, but
no,
they can do it.
I understand. I understand the strategy. I get it. However, it was 3 on 5, and Shock did have the spots, but I would rather say, hey, if I'm in that situation and I still have 3 bodies left alive, I would rather my guys giddy up and maybe blaze through like another 30 seconds, try to make something happen. But, all right, so you're looking at the breakout on your screen right now, and, you know, it's a good, solid breakout. We're seeing a lot of the same stuff. You're looking at about 3 or 4 different breakouts. Here on the flip side, it's always heavy guns. Even when these guys are running out, now you're noticing these guys are running and gunning out to their spots. You very rarely ever see a player, as you see Aftershock sliding in there, and he only momentarily had his gun down. He really only had his gun down long enough to get his position and get his gun back up. I'm talking about a half a second, and that's it's a skill set that you have to play at this level. You have to be able to move and shoot. You use your gun as a walking bunker, essentially.
Yeah. We tell people that at paintball clinics that most of the time they don't get that.
Yeah.
Well, live behind your gun.
Yeah, live behind your gun. It's tough. It's one of those things that Damage takes the time out. It's one of those things that it takes a long time to develop that. Some are more talented at it than others, but it's a skill set that you just have to really practice and practice and practice and practice. And you just go out to your local field or dirt lot or your backyard or canyon or wherever. Just go somewhere, throw a bunker up, and have run from point A to point B or a target and shoot at that target. And do that 1,000 times, and you'll develop that. But it needs to become second nature, because sometimes those are your best shots. You know, when you're moving out and you're out in the open, and if you're throwing a line of paint back at the guy and you're doing it effectively, what happens a lot of times is if you are able to get paint near and around his head area, he's going to be forced to flinch. Therefore, his gun's going to come off your lane and you're going to make the spot.
Exactly.
We got our pit cam checking out Damage pits. And these guys don't have a lot of time to get ready, and you see their pit crew in there is wiping everything down. And it really comes into play. You know, a lot of times you'll see some of these guys take some extra shots, or, you'll see a guy intentionally shoot somebody's gun or their goggles, inside their goggles. And what that really is it's one, for intimidation, but 2, it really forces you to kind of play that mental game. You got to go back, clean up 2 minutes, and get back out there.
Which some teams do really well, and some teams can't do it at all.
Yeah. Some teams.
There was a couple games yesterday where guys were starting with 4 out there because they weren't ready. You got 8 or 9 guys. 10 guys. I don't understand that.
Inexcusable.
Have your gun ready, go.
You're looking at Damage down 2 points to Chicago. A re-emergent Chicago Aftershock trying to win their second match of the year. Second match of the tournament, though.
Yeah.
And then you're looking at Aftershock right there. And Aftershock trying to live out the proud legacy of that name a legendary name, multiple world titles. Chicago Aftershock, one of the most iconic names in the business. And then you're looking at that's Big Dave Baines, Tampa Bay Damage, a great team in their own right, trying to get back to that winner's circle. And we're going to see it come down right here. 4 minutes on the clock as we head to the end of our match. Again, Aftershock 4, Damage 2. All right, there's the breakout, and coming up in that center, a little slow trot, Holiday.
Aftershock shoots damage on the break in the Dorito corner there, so he's down 1 damage. Looks like 2. They lose both corners, Snake corner and the Dorito corner.
Yeah, they lose Edwards out of that back corner. That's a big loss for him. Jason Edwards coming out, one of the most consistent players in the game.
And he just got here yesterday got in here late, so I'm glad they're here to see him. They didn't think he was going to show up.
And Aftershock is just, they're looking good right now. They got the snake, they're making crisp moves, they're shooting guys off the break. I think that's really been the story of this game. The story of this game has been Aftershock's ability to shoot damage off the break. Damage has just not been able to contend with that. Oh, nice job by Holiday in the center coming out. And then taking out, I think that might have been Yost. Yeah, taking out Yost in the center. And then Damian Ryan is just blazing away over there in 50-yard line snake on the player side of the field. And
you see the damage player trying to run all the way across the field. Had lost his gun. He had to go grab his gun and got eliminated trying to do it.
So it's not looking good for Damage as Shock goes up 5-2 with 2 minutes and 55 seconds left to go.
I would say that point right there
was the coffin nail.
Could have been the one right there, because that, I mean, yeah, we've seen some comebacks, but that's 255. I'm not going to say it could be done.
I love Damage, and I very
it's
much
just their playing
respect that
style
team.
doesn't suit this.
What they're bringing to the table right now today, I don't think they can score 3 points in 3 minutes. They've only put 2 points on the board in all of the games so far. And with the way that Shock is shooting them off the break, I don't know if they're going to get 5 guys alive.
Yep.
You know, so at this point, this is when we need to see something. Now, you're looking at the breakout now. The breakout we're going to see in the next point, this one sending a guy all the way up that center, and he's doing a good job of doing that slow walk up there. And, I mean, I'd like him to run faster and still shoot that good lane, but he was really trying to take care and try to shoot the Aftershock players. You see 2 of them over there, top right-hand portion of your screen, trying to make it out, but he wasn't able to get any kills over there. Damage was not able to take anybody out, and Aftershock, look at that, 5 guns up, rolling hard, and they were able
G1
to
and G2 on the break.
G1 and G2. And that's been the story of this game. It's been Aftershock's ability to shoot Damage off the break and then take those aggressive moves away from Damage. The only points that Damage has won has been points that have been on their heels. And that's not the way you want to win a game.
No, not on something. When you're trying to get to tomorrow, you got to bring what you did yesterday, man. You can't change it up.
No, you can't.
And that's what they've been trying to do all year, is get back to Sunday. And they still have another game left this afternoon, so we'll see.
Yeah, there's a ton of paintball to play. We're only into game number 1. Directly after this match, we got Infamous taking on Impact. I'm very interested to see what that's going to happen in that game. As we watch the next breakout, hard dig all the way to the insert bunker. Now, this is a hard side to get out on, but Brown able to make it very fast. Nice job, insert bunker, insert Dorito right behind the snake on the spectator side. Now you're looking at Aftershock, doubling up that really small back center bunker. And Aftershock, man, all they're going to do is just roll to get. They got 5 alive. You can look at them. They're just, hey, carry an extra pot of paint out.
Those shovels.
Bring your shovel.
Yep.
You bring your
Because
trench
Damage
knife.
is going to have to do something they don't want to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Traditionally, they want to play slow and methodical, and you can't do that right now. You need to get down the field
and look
quick.
Now, I'll tell you what, they look at their line. You're looking at Damage's line. You can't really see it from this angle as Brown's rolling his gun down the snake side. But inside the field, they do have players there now. Dave Baines is getting up to that center A. And time is starting to tick off this clock. They need to win a quick point here. Oh, referee is running over, and a penalty would really hurt Aftershock right now. If Templeton's hit,
here it comes. And is it red?
There's
Yep.
the major.
Oh,
Oh, God, you can see those coming from a mile away.
What not to do.
That was a perfect example of what not to do to try to win a paintball game when you're up a bunch of points.
And Shock takes a face massage.
Yeah, so Chad running through, taking out that center player.
So for the rest of the game, Aftershock is in the penalty box. with a 2-point lead. So, yeah, now they have enough time to come back if they want to tie this game up. Way to go, Shock player. Way to blow it.
Yeah, I think that was Drew
The
Templeton.
game's not over yet, but, hey, way to do your team in.
Yeah, I think that's Drew Templeton's second penalty of this game, too. So Drew Templeton is, I believe, I'm not positive, it looked like it was Drew again, which I don't remember Drew to be a penalty-heavy player. However, I think that is his second of this game. I'd have to double-check that, though. But really ill-timed major penalty, which gives the point to Damage, essentially. Nice job by Chad as we're looking here. You're looking at Aftershock, and there it is, man. You can see it from a mile away. Anytime you see that referee, all of a sudden just has the stare. He's got that. You can just see the stare.
You got the hit. Walk off the field. I mean.
Yeah, and anytime you see a ref run from far away, and he kind of like runs in, and you
that's
see
when you
him
just stand up and start walking.
Yeah, it's just you can see him telegraphing that penalty.
No, he just decided, you know what? I'm going to do my team in. I want to make this interesting.
Yeah, they definitely are making it interesting for us up here for everyone at home.
Now let's see if Damage with 132, they know Shock's in the penalty box. They got to come out hard here, but this isn't their style. We'll see.
Yeah, it is. We will see. I think that Damage had a little bit more aggressive game plan. They didn't do anything crazy. I take that back. Actually, sending a guy all the way to the Dorito behind the snake, that is pretty crazy on this field because that side of the field is really hard to make it out on. Brown's small, Brown's fast. He made it in there, and then they moved Dave Baines up into that center. That penalty killed Aftershock, though. I mean, Aftershock still had a lot of bodies left alive. All they had to do was roll their guns. Yes, they'd given up some position, but all they needed to do was just focus on rolling those guns and maintaining those lanes. Take their shovels, dig a trench.
Don't dig a major.
And they just did, like you said, the perfect example of what not to do when you're trying to bring a game home. However, with a minute and 32 seconds left, Damage needs to score 2 points just to tie it up. Now, that being said, Aftershock's going to be playing the rest of this game with 4 guys. So that's going to take one gun off that back line. Aftershock that's been doing such a good job of shooting Damage off the break. It is going to be interesting to see. There's just not a lot of time left on the board. This field is not a fast-playing field.
Not for this field. If it was a different field, possibly. But and Damage style of play, they don't usually play like that. So we'll see. We'll see how bad they want to win this game.
Yeah, we will. We're going to check it out. First, we got a highlight, and you're looking at this replay of the run-through by Chad Boussier. Nice job. Just smashes the face of, not sure who that was. Actually, for Aftershock, that was Andrew Heyer getting taken out. Really nothing he could do, man. Chad ran the perfect route. Anytime you're coming up to bunker a player, if you can, run directly at that bunker and then at the last moment step out. You see a lot of times in the lower divisions when guys go to bunker somebody, they really stop thinking and they start shooting their gun at the bunker immediately as they start running.
And then they run right out of bounds.
Yeah. But also what that does is if you're going to bunker a guy, you don't want to pull the trigger until you're going to shoot the guy. If you shoot the bunker, yeah, that's a cowbell.
Ding, 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 ding.
If you're shooting the bunker, and think about it, I'm in the bunker, and all of a sudden my bunker starts getting shot, and it sounds like the guy's getting closer. Well, what's happening? Someone's coming to get me, man. So I'm going to trade out with you. I'm going to get a paintball on you. And whereas if you do it like Chad just did it, and that guy's not going to have a chance to spin. And if he does, he draws a penalty. So nice job by Chad and Damage. But really, the story of that point was the major penalty on Shock. All right, so you're looking at Damage. Blue and black. They have a chance. Staring downfield, eyes up. Nice form and good job here. Oh, but gets taken out on the run out, trying to get out to the corner. 4 alive, Damage. They're kind of stuck in the center and then immediately making moves is Holiday. Backing him up.
They got to keep going,
Mike
man.
McCarthy.
They shoot back center Aftershock. So they got 3 alive Aftershock. They got to keep going, man.
Yeah, they got to keep going. They're losing bodies, pushing aggressively into them, though.
Everywhere.
It doesn't matter. They got to go, man. It's all or nothing here at this point. And here comes Timmy Probst coming in the center as he takes out one. Nice job by Timmy. Oh, my God, that's what I'm talking about. Timmy Probst stepping it up and running down the center of the field, showing the veteran player that he is, handling business. Number 1, Timmy. That was a great move up the center of the field. He perfectly blocked out the last 2 players from Aftershock. He capitalized on the chaos that was going on during that point. Abel had a very effective run through, got himself a 2-pack, And
Live
the
behind
point.
live behind his gun, maybe
Yeah,
the bunker, man.
like that's what you were talking about. That's a game-breaking move right there. Game breaker for Timmy Probst. Nice job, and now we got ourselves a 1-point match with 47 seconds left. So
this
damage
game is not
really,
over yet.
yeah,
So
this game is not over yet.
They did it, man. They came out.
Well, it's like we were talking about when we were looking at it before. It's like, wow, not a lot of time left, and unless a damage alters the way that they've been playing this game and comes with a more aggressive game plan, they're not going to have a chance. Now, Aftershock helps them out by getting that major penalty. That was a really big key to the getting back in here. But yeah, looking on that replay, that's that run through. Great job by Timmy. Again, just perfectly ran that route, was able to thread through the center of the field and seize the element, or really utilize the chaotic nature of when a point starts to fall apart like that. And a lot of times, you see these experienced players, they maintain their head about them, and they see, okay, look, because again, this is all, it's just, it's putting variables together. Okay, gun A is shooting left, gun B is shooting right, player C just got shot, and he's walking off, he can't shoot me anymore. Okay, now it's time to make my move.
And when he went and got the first player, he didn't go running like a madman and trading out. He stepped in, got some shots, make sure he was hit, and then he went and finished the last guy off.
Very smart, very, very smart. Eyes up the whole time.
Yep.
Really knew what he needed to do. That's a big thing too. It's like it is. You know, we talk about this like chess with guns. It absolutely is chess with guns. Timmy was able to understand not just the first move he was going to make, but he already had the second move planned in his head as he went for the first move.
Shock's just walking out here. They just don't have that swagger right now. So we'll see if
you can see them. They're like, okay, what are we gonna? Okay, yeah, I'm going over here.
Yeah.
All right, but that's fine as long as it just comes down to this right here. They can get those heavy guns up off the break. That's Nick Sloviak, captain of the team.
And Brown goes right to the A, right side of the A.
The smart move. They
eliminate.
They lose Mikowski over there off the center.
So here we go.
5 bodies left alive for damage right now. They got great field position. They're going to have to push aggressively. And here comes Brown. He gets destroyed trying to get past midfield. Here comes Chad Boussier. He's streaking down the field. So I think that's Edwards. Yeah, so here comes Edwards, and he makes it all the way into the backfield. And Dave Baines on the stunt. He comes through. Paul Sloviak might have traded with the back center, not sure. And here comes Timmy Probst, last player. And the last player is going to be Jason Edwards. So it's a one-on-one situation with 5 seconds. And great job by Damage as they throw the kitchen sink at the Aftershock line. But it doesn't look like they're going to be able to do it.
Wow,
so nice job by
everything, man.
Dan, that was a beautifully stunted move. That is how you go. One guy at a time. Well, they didn't even go one guy at a time. It's one guy goes, another guy goes right after him. And then you just play off the chaos. You play off each other's moves. But I'll give it up to Damage. That is exactly what you want to see, and they brought it down
on the field. I like that.
They left it all. They left everything they had. They left out on the field. You got to give their hats off to Damage and how they played that last couple points. But it was a little bit too late before they started to get that mojo.
And Shock helped them out with that major there. So
yeah.
Hey, but you know what? When you get that, you got to take advantage of it. And at least Damage, they went out there at the end. They
take what they give you, man. Take what they give you. They're going to give you 4-on-5. Awesome. Makes it easier on us. And again, Damage played great. That was a beautiful point. It really was beautiful paintball there. They brought it to a one-on-one. I would have loved to have seen that one-on-one played out if we had a little more time, but we didn't. And you're looking at it right here. Here's the moves. They're coming through. Here's guy one. You can see them. Look at them all. They're playing off that first player coming through. First player comes through. And then here comes Dave Baines. Dave Baines really does some work. Makes the guns turn on him. Wasn't able to take out Sosine though. So it's Sosine in that back center. He just handles that. Look at that. Not even missing a beat. And then it brings it up to one-on-one, but he knows at that point it was about 5 seconds left. So beautiful job to come aggressively by Damage. Didn't matter though. Our final score 5-4. Great job by Aftershock. That takes them to 2-1, and they are playing solid this event. After a very disappointing early part of the season, Damage, however, got to be disappointed in themselves as they went 2-0 yesterday. That takes them to 2-1. Both teams at 2-1. We got ourselves a great day of paintball coming at you from Cream Ridge, New Jersey, here at the PSP New Jersey Open. I'm Matty Marshall. I'm up here with Steve Rabikoff. We got Eric Roberts, old school, legendary Hall of Famer Ironman. He's going to be coming up here. Do not go anywhere. Lots more paintball action coming at you all day long. We'll see you in just a few moments.